Sup guys, and welcome back to part 6 of my ranking list, ranking all of the bosses in the Fromsoft games. We're going to be going over 76 to 90 today, so without further ado, let's just get into it. So, at number 76 from Dark Souls 3, it's Champion Gunda. So, I actually hate that I have to rank this guy so low, but in my heart of hearts, I really do. Champion Gunda, like, on the face of it, could be a top 20 boss. He's fast, he's aggressive, the pace is incredible, he has this huge moveset, I love his phase too. It's a really cool throwback to the tutorial boss as well, where, you know, instead of going splodge mode, he just goes fucking ham. He's got the spin kick, he's got the shoulder badge. There's so much to love about him. However, there is one thing I really don't like about him. It's the entire reason he's held back so much, and that's the parrying. Now, there are plenty of bosses you can parry, like you can parry, what's his name? You can parry Pontiff Sullivan, that's what he's called, Jesus. You can parry him, but you can't parry everything, and he's not exploitably parryable. Champion Gunda, though, he has so many openings, so many moves that are just parry bait. And it's not like this boss could be, like, cheesed with magic. If a boss is really weak to magic, I can't, on a strength build, just pull out Crystal Soul Spear. I have to respec into magic, but every single build can parry. Everyone has access to it. If you're running, like, a build with a shield, you can probably parry. And it's so easy, and I really do hate that about this boss. If you couldn't parry him, like I said, top 20, but it's just too exploitable, and it makes the fight just a fucking joke sometimes. So I think this is where he belongs. So at number 77, it's Radagon and Eldenbeast. So I'll start with Radagon, and then we'll get to Eldenbeast, I guess. So Radagon, I actually quite like Radagon. He does have a few moves that are kind of fucking bullshit. There's the instant lightning shot, if you know what I mean. He'll just kind of like, sort of in the middle of a combo or right at the end, he'll just whoosh, he'll just throw out these like unreactable little lightning spikes, really annoying. And in his sort of second phase, I hate the fucking teleporting. I wish the teleporting didn't do damage. It's really difficult to read and really difficult to tell when you're supposed to dodge sometimes. If he gets in the rhythm of just spamming it, it can just ruin the fight. But that said, he does have a lot of fun moves. He has some interesting combos. None of them go on for too long either, which is really nice. He leaves a decent amount of space for you to counter hit when you get him in the right rhythm. So now let's move on to Eldenbeast. Oh my god, Eldenbeast is interesting. I feel like fewer things could be changed to genuinely make me enjoy Eldenbeast more than Radagon. I don't mind that he's a big boss with big moves, but I mean, everyone's complained about it, I completely agree. Holy fucking Christ, all this boss does is just run away. Attack, lets you get close, runs away, jumps up in the sky, lands, runs away. Oh god, it's so irritating. If you run away less, I think he'd be good, because I actually like dodging most of his moves. I love the sword swipe where he shoots a little energy beams at you. Those are great to dodge, I love it, it feels great. Like closing space towards him while dodging through his attacks. There's like the skeleton of a great boss there. Except for Elden Stars, let me just put that out there. Holy shit, like this move, it won't kill you, it barely does any damage. It will annoy you to death though, it is painful. I've seen people say that like, oh this is weird, I feel like Torrent should be available for this fight. And yeah, but that's only because he runs away too much. If he didn't run away so much, then, I don't know, I guess you'd be fine without Torrent. But whatever. So that's all I can really say about Radagon and Eldenbeast. So at number 78 from Elden Ring, it's Commander Nile. So let's get the additions out of the way. He summons a couple knights, one of them will run at you and you can kill it, and then the other one will walk at you, and then you can kill it. But while the additions are out, Commander Nile is so unbelievably passive, he might as well just not be there. So it never feels underwhelming, but it never really feels meaningful, like they add anything to the fight. It's basically just a compulsory it's like an entry cost, like, oh, if you want to fight this boss, just kill these two guys. And you kill him and then the actual boss starts. It also kind of makes his two-phase system, like, completely pointless. Because if you try and fight him before you kill the additions, he's phase 1, where he doesn't have the lightning and he's missing most of the AoEs. but then the second you kill him, he's just like, oh, phase 2. So his whole fight just feels like one big phase 2. Now, I do actually quite like his phase 2, though. I think he has an interesting moveset. Maybe a few too many AoEs for my taste. I feel like he'll just throw them in the middle of combos, which can really just be frustrating. But, I don't know, I mean, I guess he works fine. He's just a very passable boss outside of that. The big lightning strike where he leaps in the air and lands on you with his little foot. It's cool, his little prosthetic leg. Yeah, I don't really have too much negative to say about Commander Nile as a boss fight. I just feel the initial, you know, 2 enemy thing, it's annoying. Although you can use Bewitching Branches, and that's kind of cool, especially if you use it on the Twin Sword Knight, and you'll just combo the shit out of him. But nah, there's not too much else to say about Commander Nile. He's just a passable fight, I guess. So, at number 79, it's Ava the King's Pet. So, Ava the King's Pet to me is kind of like the Sanctuary Guardian of the Dark Souls 2 DLC. Not like insane, not ridiculously difficult, not too easy, just a solid boss, a fun little challenge. There is one thing that is interesting about her, however. When you first encounter her, she'll be invisible and basically fucking impossible. But you can fight her like this, you can beat her while she's invisible, and it's cool. I mean, you'll only get bragging rights, and I could just lie to you now and say, like, I've done it 50, I do it every fucking time, I'm so good. But I don't, because it's, to be honest, it's just not fun. Just slamming your head against a brick wall, hoping like, oh god, is she there? Where is she? No, but I was fine, I guess. Somewhat limited moveset, probably why she's not higher. She doesn't have that many attacks she can pull out, but what few attacks she has, they're fine. She does a shit ton of damage as well, like, especially if you come under-leveled or you go to the DLC when it's first presented, she will just pound your ass into the applesauce. But, yeah, that's about it for Ava. Next up, at number 80, it's the Cleric Beast from Blood 1. So the Cleric Beast is likely the first boss you'll fight, unless you just miss it, in which case it's Father Gascoigne. And I think Father Gascoigne is a lot better as a first boss. I don't really love the Cleric Beast. I think the camera is a complete fucking disaster in this fight. It really doesn't help that the arena's this tiny little bridge that you have to fight him on. You can sort of get stuck on the debris and like lodged in a corner, just like staring up at his arse cheeks. And don't tell me to lock off. Locked off is just as bad. Then he's just jumping around with the camera going haywire. There's really no easy way to fight this guy. That said, he's not the most difficult boss fight in the game, and he does get you a little bit accustomed to like, hey, there's gonna be big enemies and you still need to be like dodging through their attacks and shit. Yeah, there's not too much to say about the Cleric Beast. Actually, there is one weird little, I don't know if it's a nitpick, because I do kind of like him, and he's at number 80. All the beasts have this one move, and I don't know what it is. They like grab their chest, they scream, and then there's a little red effect. And I don't think it heals them. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. If anyone could tell me in the comments, please let me know. Because I genuinely haven't figured out what it does yet. But yeah, the Cleric Beast, there's nothing too special about him. Like I said, we really are entering that part of the list where it's just like, this boss is okay. Why? Because it's okay. So, at number 81, it's the Champion's Gravetender. So, god damn it, the Champion's Gravetender, it should be obvious why it's this low. And it's a shame that it's this low on the list, considering the other bosses from the Dark Souls 3 DLC. Like, every single one of them is just a fucking banger, but this guy's just, he's just mash. I don't know, man. The first part of the fight is just a fight against a fucking NPC, and it's just shit. It's just boring. It's nothing. It is just white bread with maybe some butter. They put 3 wolves in there just to annoy you, I guess. They're kind of, they gotta just rush you down. It's like, let's get this out the way. But I can't rate this boss too low because the Gravetender Great Wolf is fucking awesome. I love the wolf. This should have just been the fight. Kick this fucking loser in pajamas out. Give me the wolf. Especially in phase 2, the wolf just goes absolutely ballistic. He's just a missile firing through. I love dodging that guy. Another big plus to the boss, I think, like, visually, the arena is really nice. I think it's one of my favorite in the whole series. I especially like when the wolf starts charging, he'll go blasting through the little pillars of ice and send chunks of debris flying at you. It's so fun to look at. I really like that element of the fight. But sadly, the whole thing's brought down by just the fucking just the grave tender at the start, man. This fight is like a delicious meaty sandwich with all the fillings, but then like the bread's stale. It's like, ooh, it's a good sandwich, but it's bread. I don't know, man. You have to get through the bread to get to the meat. Ah, man, what a shame. What a shame. But you know, I don't think 81's that bad. So at number 82, it's the Leon Misbegotten. Now, I'll get how I feel about this boss out the way real quick. He's fine. Like, he's fine. I like his moveset. It's somewhat expansive, but not too crazy. He doesn't have a phase 2, which, it is kind of annoying. I want to talk about the one big missed opportunity, or like, fuck up with this boss, though. So, if you guys remember correctly, the Leon Misbegotten that gives you the Golden Order Greatsword uses the Golden Order Greatsword. He's holding it. And this one gives you the Grafted Greatsword, but he's just holding an Iron Sword. Why would they not give him the Grafted Greatsword? Why do you even get the Grafted Greatsword from this guy? I don't fucking know, but they could have given him the sword, even if it was just a reskin. I'd even accept if they didn't give him any new moves. Or, you know, he only had one new move. I don't know, it just feels like a weird decision, but whatever. He's just kind of there, and I do like him. So, at number 83, it's the Red Wolf of Radagon. So, Red Wolf of Radagon is a pretty aggressive boss, and he does have a lot of moves that I think are pretty fun to dodge. I actually quite like his ambush comet shards, or whatever they're called, the little swords that have a delay before they fire at you. They can overlap with his moves occasionally, but they're not too bad. This boss admittedly doesn't have a huge amount of respite between moves. Even after big moves, it feels like he can just jump away and start up a new one. So with a heavy weapon, he can be kind of frustrating, but that's made up for the fact that this boss just has no health. Like, really, this boss has no health. If you decide to approach in a pretty reasonable way, where you beat Godric, then you explore the lakes a bit, and then you go to fight, what's the name, the sorceress. Yeah, like, this guy is just gonna be, he's just gonna be down so quickly. Like, I'm running out of footage here. He's so squishy. But yeah, that's about all I can really say about the Red Wolf of Radagon. Don't hate him, but he could be better. So I can understand why some people might think this is a little high for this boss, but I kind of like the Capra Demon. I know, the arena is tiny and the dog ambush is fucking infuriating. However, I don't know, like, what this boss sort of tries to teach you about situational awareness, I find it kind of compelling, I guess. And, like, I'd never feel like the dog ambush is too oppressive, simply because the Capra Demon, like, he doesn't approach you too fast, he's kind of slow, his moves are very telegraphed. Like, if you time your dodges to roll away, you're probably not gonna get bombarded with the dogs at the same time. And outside of that, I like the Capra Demon's design. I do enjoy his moveset. I find him fun to fight, you know, once the dogs are dead. That said, yeah, it's so weird. Like, the exact things I kind of like about this boss, I also kind of don't like. Like, yeah, the arena's too fucking small. The dogs are annoying. It's just, I can't rank him lower, because I don't have this visceral hatred for this guy like a lot of the community does. Like I said, I kind of like him. Oh, his weapon's really cool as well. I like that in the old Dark Souls games where, or at least the first one, where some bosses would have a chance to drop a fucking weapon, and it's like, holy shit, you got the Capra Demon sword, like, immediately, or you got the weapon from the Taurus Demon. I loved that. This, like, if I'm ever in a playthrough and I get the Taurus Demon's Great Axe, it's like, oh, I'm going on a strength build now. Fuck everything else, strength. But yeah, Capra Demon. So, at number 85, it's Sin the Slumbering Dragon. I'm gonna start with what I do like about Sin. He has a pretty expansive moveset, especially for Dark Souls 2, it's very refreshing. He has that one move, similar to Dragon Lord Placidusax, where if you're at the side of him trying to just hide underneath his foot, he will turn around and blast fire on you. I think that's cool. I like that. It, you know, it stops you from just trying to take advantage of, like, a boss's huge hitbox. The arena's cool. I like his design. The poison effect's interesting. Maybe toxic is a little overkill. Is it toxic? Is it poison? I can't even remember. I'm pretty sure it's toxic. But, you know, he's got a decent moveset. I also like the charge. But let's get to what holds him back, because I think he does have some pretty huge downsides. Number one, holy fucking Christ. If you thought that Eldenbeast just ran away the whole fight, Sin can get stuck in like an infinite loop of landing, letting you get close, and not even letting you get a single hit in before he gets away. So fuck, oh god, this is taking forever. This is taking infinite time. It's miserable when he does that. And the second thing, I'm just gonna say it, the weapon breaking mechanic is fucking dumb. It's shit, it's like, it's nothing, man. It doesn't add anything to the fight. You know what it adds to the fight? Repair powder. Go in with repair powder. The idea that like, oh, you could take in multiple weapons. Okay, I guess I will. So what does that mean? Halfway through the fight, I just change weapons? Cool, I guess. Or I just bring repair powder because I've been focusing on one weapon and it's, you know, buffed up to max. I don't know, man. It's just a really unengaging way of, like, spicing up the fight, I guess. Because it really is just one interaction halfway through the fight. Oh, repair powder. There we go. Or, you know, if you're going with a low damage weapon or something like a dagger or a fast, just 1, 2, 3, 4, you'll bring lots of repair powder. It just doesn't add anything to the fight. I don't know, man. Like, fuck me. It's Sin. At number 86, it's another Demon Souls boss, and it's the Penetrator. So, I was gonna put Penetrator above False King Allant, but I ultimately decided to move him down a little bit. Not because I'd like hate the boss or anything, just because I don't know, I came to the conclusion False King Allant was a little better. He had a little more of a moveset. Although I do kind of prefer Penetrator's moveset in a way. I don't know, I just think he's a really cool boss. I love the length of the sword, I think it's really fun. The weapon effect actually looks kind of nice for, for Demon Souls. Yeah, no, it's just a pretty standard boss. I feel like this guy was a good benchmark for what they would base the sort of man-in-armor boss on, like in the future games. Just a guy in armor, he has a sword, all of his attacks are swipes. Fun to learn, he also started off the whole trend of the boss coming out and impaling a lesser enemy, like fuck you, and just throwing it at you. That's always great. So you could say this guy's like the proto-Artorias when you really think about it. Think about it, he's got one sword, he impaled an enemy, there you go, Artorias. He just doesn't have to flip. There's not too much I can even say about the Penetrator at this point. He's just a serviceable boss, you know, he chugs along. He's a grilled cheese sandwich, he's just fine. So, at number 87, it's the Taurus Demon. So, the Taurus Demon is here not because he's like an amazing boss with some huge moveset and a crazy arena, more because of what he's sort of supposed to teach you, I guess, that being the plunging attack. Though it is weird that in Dark Souls 1, you're presented with the plunging attack immediately with the tutorial boss, and then later on, oh, the Taurus Demon, so you get the idea that, oh, I'm going to be using the plunging attack all the time, and yet, I think these are like the only two bosses you can use it on, so, weird lesson, I guess. I don't really have a lot of nice things to say about the Taurus Demon, I guess. The arena is annoying, considering how big he is. Fighting him on this little bridge is just awkward, but, I don't know, I mean, you can fight him up at the top part, because if you just stand on the top part, and you stare at him, eventually he does jump up. So you can choose to fight him up there if you really want to. He doesn't have the biggest moveset. I think I said in the Capra Demon, I love that you can get his weapon here. But that's about all the good things I can really say about the Taurus Demon. He just kind of exists, and he's a perfectly okay first real boss. I don't know, man. Fuck it, that's the Taurus Demon. So at number 88, a somewhat mediocre boss, it's the Corrupted Monk. So let's start with what's good about the Corrupted Monk. He has a good moveset. that's about it. He's a solid fight. He's very fun to deflect. I love all the sweeps. He has opportunities for you to mimicry. He has opportunities for you to jumping blow, I guess, whatever you want to call that. So yeah, like, he works as a boss. The problem is that there's true Corrupted Monk, so who gives a shit about Corrupted Monk, you know? It's like, he's just a downgrade, essentially. And also, I don't know if it's a plus or a negative. I don't really I kind of view it neutrally. Holy Christ, this guy is cheesable. Fistful of Ash will fuck this boss over. You get 3 Snap Seeds, which are 3 massive damages on this guy. And there's also the method where you can like back him up into a tree and death blow him if you really want to skip him. Although that is a little awkward. So yeah, really what's holding him back is he's very cheesable, and true Corrupted Monk is just a million times better, so it just renders this guy pointless. He feels like a filler boss from Elden Ring. He's like the Godfrey shade, essentially. But slightly worse, because you can just cheese the fuck out of him. So moving on to number 89, it's Bloodstone Beast. Now, what I do like about this boss, I like that most of his moves are parryable. He's got some pretty fair parry windows as well, with his big, like, delayed strike, or when he's just, like, flailing towards you, he's very parryable then. So he can be pretty engaging as a boss fight. Now let's get to why he's so low. He's just fucking way too easy. And the reason he's way too easy is just dodge to the right. Like, nothing can hit you if you just dodge to the right. Stay close, dodge to the right. The swipe will miss, the charge will miss, the flail will miss, everything will miss. And I guess he has the poison buildup, which, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it, because I just dodge to the right, and it's like, it's not even there. But he's kind of cool. His design's interesting. I can't really tell what's going on because he wiggles around too much. I don't know if that's a cloak or it's a big skin fold. I think it's a skin fold. I don't know. It's like barely... We really are entering the point in the list where it's like, okay, I've gotten out of the way what I like about the boss and what I don't like, but how can I expand on this? I can't. What else do I add to Bloodstone Beast? I like the textures on the pillars. He smells good. He sounds cool. I guess he sounds okay. Fuck it. So finally, at number 90, from Demon Souls, it's Flame Lurker. So, what Flame Lurker does well, it's pretty simple, right? He's the hardest boss in Demon Souls, and it's just because he's genuinely aggressive. He will close distance. His moves, you do want to try and avoid them. And like, his moves will hit you. If he gets close, they'll hit you. I feel like a lot of bosses in Demon Souls, especially False King of Lant, False King of Lant tends to just miss you because he doesn't track you at all, and he has very small hitboxes. I don't know. But Flame Lurker, he can get you. He can get you. He can run you down. Now, let's get to what I really don't like about Flame Lurker, and the reason that he's so much lower than the lower than the other Demon Souls bosses on the list so far. Obviously, we have a lot to go. I just fucking don't like his moveset. I feel like his entire moveset is just AoE, AoE, slash AoE, AoE, jump back, AoE. It's just not really that fun to play against. He's not hard in a fun way, he's hard in like an annoying way, like getting tickled to death. I don't know, he's very cheesable, but I mean, he's cheesable with magic, but I mean, every boss in Demon Souls is cheesable with magic. One cute little saving grace, when you kill him, Dragon God, which absolutely sucks 18 trillion dicks, but we'll get to him when we get to him. He's just right there. There's no run back to Demon King, so that's nice. So we can thank Flame Lurker for that, I guess. But yeah, I think that's where we're gonna bring this list to an end. I will catch you guys in the next part. I hope you've enjoyed the list so far. Feel free to let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree with anything in the list. And yeah, I'll catch you in the next one, guys. Peace out.